What is a deposition? How should you prepare? How should you answer? What should you do to do a good job in a deposition? I'm going to try to answer some of those questions so that you're relaxed and you can do a good job during your deposition. So let's kind of go through questions and answers. So first, who's going to be there? In a case where I was the plaintiff attorney, I would be there with my client. There would be a court reporter there. A court reporter is someone that is trained and I believe licensed to type up the deposition and create kind of like a book, a typed up recording of the deposition. There will be a defense attorney. If there are multiple parties in the case, which is not usual, there might be more than one defense attorney. Those are the normal people at a deposition. A deposition also might be video recorded. In this age of COVID, depositions are kind of different now. A lot of depositions maybe just by phone or by Zoom. If you have a deposition by Zoom, you are going to be probably on a screen and you want to have a presentable background, not a background that can be judged by a defendant's attorney, and or an insurance company where a room is dirty. Maybe there's a bomb or something like that. You don't want to have stuff in the background that a defense attorney or an insurance company will look at and go, So you want to be in a presentable room. You want to have presentable clothes on, meaning, something maybe you would wear to a business or maybe to church. You want to look presentable. So if a defense attorney looks at you, they're going to say, this person looks professional. When they listen to you, you want to have the defense attorney and the insurance company thinking, this person looks professional. Okay? So what's going to happen is, in the beginning, the court reporter will ask you to raise your right hand, ask you to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. And you should say, I do. And then what you should try to do is keep your answers short. You should be trying to what I tell clients is usually an answer should be 3 words or less, meaning yes, no, I don't know. And your time to really talk would be as if your case ever went to trial. What kind of questions will they ask you in a deposition? The normal questions in a deposition are, what's your name, your social security number, your date of birth, your address, your schooling, have you ever been in the military, what jobs you've held, have you ever brought an insurance claim before, what doctors have you treated with, what happened on the crash, how fast you were going, if it was a crash or if it was a slip and fall or whatever your kind of claim, they're going to want to ask you questions about it. So if it was an auto crash, were you moving, how fast you were going, did you ever seatbelt on, who else was in the car with you, did you speak to anyone after the crash, were you injured, could you drive your car after the crash, did you go to the hospital right away, have you ever been in a lawsuit before, have you ever had a deposition before. They're then going to want to get into what kind of injuries have you suffered as a result of this incident? What could you do before that you can't do now? Have you missed any work? And to all these questions, you want to be calm. You don't want to get mad at the defense attorney who might want to get you mad, and just try to make short answers to each question and answer the question. And if they ask the question 3 or 4 times, just calmly answer the same way, or calmly say to the defense attorney, you've asked this already, and it's the same answer. Your deposition can be used in court, meaning if you say that the accident was not the defendant's fault, then they would use that in court. And because it would be typed up. And what the defendant attorney and the defendant's insurance company, which is in a usual case, they want to kind of size the plaintiff up. Are they a good witness? Are they likable? Is there something about them that maybe would reduce the value of a claim? Are they going to be a likable person if this case ever went to court? Or are they going to be an unlikable person because maybe they have a temper, maybe they give long answers, maybe they have problems, and it's kind of a dry run for the defense attorney and the insurance company to find out about the plaintiff. In a claim, in a lawsuit, a deposition is incredibly normal, meaning probably over 95% of the time, the defense attorney and the insurance company would want to take the plaintiff's deposition. It's entirely normal. You do not want to guess in the deposition, meaning if they ask you how fast you were going before the crash, you probably really don't know. That's not a normal thing that someone would know. So you don't want to guess the answer, but you want to make a professional answer. So if you know the speed limit was maybe 35 and they ask you how fast you were going, you would say, maybe I was probably going around the speed limit, around 35, where you're not guessing, but you're giving a good, credible answer. The opposing defense attorney, remember, is not your friend. His job is to size you up and have you make an answer that can be used to minimize your claim. So what you want to do is make a good, quick, short answer so that your case, if it's at this level before the deposition, it stays at this level rather than you make some bad answers and the level of your claim goes down. If you are making an answer to a question and the defense attorney interrupts you where you have not answered the question in full, after the defense attorney interrupts you, you should try to answer the question. But again, you still want to make short answers and be to the point and only answer the question that is asked. During a deposition, you might be thinking, why is my attorney not saying anything? That is entirely usual during a deposition because the rules are very limited of what an attorney representing you can do. And there's usually maybe 3 times where an attorney can object or say something. For one, attorney-client privilege, communications between the client and the attorney. Second is maybe it gets into a criminal area and the attorney might want to raise, or the client might want to raise a Fifth Amendment right to not answer a question. And the third type of answer that an attorney could give and speak during a deposition might be form, or it might be something like a question is confusing, duplicative, or something like that. So most questions during a deposition need to be answered, and that's entirely usual with your attorney not saying much.